Hey everybody, my name is Cayce Hanalei, and in this video I'm going to have so much fun teaching you the very basics of acrylic painting. What, you've never painted before? That's okay. I will teach you how to do it step by step, and first thing we're going to do is create our very own color wheel. So if you want to learn how to paint like a pro, like me, go ahead and stick around and we will get started right now. Yep, like I said, my name is Cayce Hanalei, and I've been teaching for about 10 years now, acrylic painting, painting for beginners, that kind of thing. I've taught children, I've taught at nursing homes, I've taught wine and paint parties, I've taught everything you can think of, I've probably done it. So yeah, I thought I'd start this new series. We're gonna start with a color wheel. We're gonna start with the very, very basics and just kind of go from there and see where it goes. So welcome to the very first episode of Painting with Beginners, or whatever I'm gonna call this series. Anyways, so the first thing is her supply list, right? So we always need to get our supplies together so that we can, paint a proper color wheel. So I always paint on a paper plate with acrylic. Now, if it's oil paint, that's a different story and a different video, which we will talk about. But acrylic paint does really well on these like Dixie plates, so I would highly recommend just using one of these, very cheap. And then we have our colors, our acrylic colors. Make sure you don't mix oil and acrylic paint. It's a no-go. Oil and water do not mix. So the colors we'll be using today are ultramarine blue, titanium whites, mid yellow. You're a good yellow. Don't worry, you're not mid. And brilliant red. And then we might go in with black. This is Mars black. We'll see how I'm feeling. Anyway, so those are the primary colors in addition to white and then maybe black. So I have my primary colors here on display for you. And then I also have one of these canvas boards. I really like the board. It's something that you can hang up really easily. I mean, if it's a regular stretch canvas, that's fine too, but I don't know, I just like the board. It's my preference. And then of course, you will need a brush. This is from Michaels. It's Artist Loft, that's like their brand. I really like these. These are the Pro series brushes, really nice. These are horsehair, but an annual brush will do too if that's not what you have around. And then I have paper towels and a cup of water. So you can see I have well loved this cup. Try to reuse it when I can. All right, so today, yes, we are gonna be making a color wheel from scratch. And when I would teach, this is the first thing I would do with my students is I would create a color wheel with them, especially with the palette that we would be using that semester. So what it helps you do is it helps you get familiar with the colors in your palette. And when you are painting a piece, if there's a color that you're not sure how to make, that kind of thing, we always refer to our color wheel. So it's very helpful to have just hanging up in your studio or wherever you're working. You just have it propped up and you can always reference it when you need it. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to kind of draw. I'm lightly dipping my brush in my water just to kind of get it a little moist. And then I'm gonna lightly draw. I would draw the circle or the color wheel with a Sharpie, but I don't. Sometimes with acrylic paint, the Sharpie bleeds into, it just doesn't look as pretty, right? So I'm gonna be actually holding this the whole time because this is how I would instruct as well. I would actually hold it in front of me and I would paint upside down, but I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna just hold it like this. So I wet my brush, and then I'm gonna just dip into the red paint very lightly. And I'm gonna show you what I'm doing actually. I'm creating almost a watercolor with this. So I dipped it into the water and I'm creating a very thin paint because I'm gonna sketch my color wheel with this color actually. And I don't need a ton of paint to do that. You can see this is recycled, so I'm sorry. All right, so what I'm gonna do, just do this. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it to be perfect, that's fair. Respect that. All right, so we're gonna have many colors on this color wheel. The first one is gonna be, oh, and then, you know what, let's do a circle. It's gonna look like a donut. That's gonna be a surprise, don't worry. We're gonna do something with that at the end. So we want red, and then we wanna do a section for blue, and a section for yellow, okay? And then we're gonna cut these sections in half as well. You can hear my cat throwing up in the background, so say hi to Jasper. Here we go. All right, so how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors. All right. Okay, so, yeah, very basic. And we're gonna be doing we're gonna fill out this space here. So, but the first thing I'm gonna do now, I'm going to, not the first thing I'm gonna do. It's what, like the third, fourth thing I'm gonna do? Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my red paint here, and now I'm doing just straight paint. Okay, so I'm just getting, and I would say this is very kid friendly as well. So if you wanna do this with your children, I'd say even like 4 or 5-year-olds can do this, but with adult supervision. So kids, please go get your mommy and daddy or your guardian and ask them if you can paint with me, because I would love that. All right, so we are gonna go to the top. This is our red section, and we're just going to fill in a section with our red paint. And you might need a little extra water. This is a very nice primary red. Okay, very nice. Okay, so, and I'm just kind of wiping off the excess here. Now what I want to do is I want to utilize my white color too. So with my students, what I would want them to do is mix every color with the white to see what it would do to the color and the paint. So I'm going to be mixing those together. I'll show you exactly how I'm doing it. So I'm going to take some of my red, take some of my white here, just mix. I might need another plate actually. Right. It's a nice pastel pink. And I would just put this up here. Okay, excuse me, I'm burping or something. Make sure I have a really nice rug in here. I don't want to get any of the rug. All right, so, all right. Okay, so now we're going to be putting in the orange. So we're going to be mixing again. And you all remember from primary school how we make orange? It is yellow and red. Okay, so one thing that I want you to know too is yellow is a lot weaker of a color than red and blue. So whenever you mix yellow with those two colors, you're probably gonna need at least 2/3 yellow to 1/3 red or blue. Just because, again, it's like, oh, it's a weaker color, so the red and the blue are just really, really strong. So I would do a little scoop of yellow, and put it down here, and then a teeny tiny bit of the red. Mix that together. Okay, we have our orange. So one thing that I want to do is with every one of these sections, I want to try to do a gradual move to the next color, right? So this is our middle orange here, but I want to get to a yellow, right? So I'm actually going to start with a little bit more red than I should. And I'll show you what I mean. So that's a very, very dark orange. What I want to do is just paint. Oh no, oh no. I got some. Let me put something down so I don't mess with my carpet. There we go. I don't care about that blanket. Okay. Oh, shoot. This is a lot messier than I thought it was gonna be. Okay. So that's a nice transition out of that red. And then what I do is I just keep adding yellow. So to this mixture. Okay. It's another gradual. See, it's a slight difference. Oh my gosh. It's getting on the drop cloth, so we're good. That. All right. Then we add a little bit more yellow. One more scoop. Okay. See, we're gradually getting to a yellow color. All right, one more time. A little more yellow. Nice. All right. Pretty. All right. So red on the top, down to yellow. And then we're just I'm gonna wash off my brush a little bit. And I'm just gonna do straight yellow from the tube. And if I did it right, then it should be a very gradual progression into yellow. Looks great. All right. Okay. So this is straight yellow. So you can see an example, see how weak the yellow is because our outline of the red is peeking through. All right. And now I want to add white to this because I want to see what it does. So do you want to do the orange? Maybe we should do orange first. Ooh. It's like a creamsicle color. That looks really yummy. All right. So I'm just gonna paint in portion. Ooh. Ooh. It's getting on the drop cloth, so we're good. Okay. Very nice. Okay. I'm gonna wash off my brush a little bit. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the yellow. And I think I need a little bit more yellow actually. So let me get that. I have just like a little table here and it's not really working out for me. So next time I will need a bigger table. Okay, a little bit more yellow. Okay, now I'm going to create the pastel of yellow. Put it over here. Ooh, that's nice. It's like a lemon sherbet. I like to name my colors, if you can tell. Pretty. All right. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna transition from yellow to blue. And what do we get when we mix yellow and blue together? We get a green. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go from yellow to blue and mix our greens. So I'm gonna do that over here. Here's our yellow, and I'm just gonna add the teensiest amount of blue because yellow is a weak color. Poor yellow, it gets a bad rap. So that's a slightly kind of like baby poop. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna do half of this square. There we go, that looks really pretty. All right. Okay. Now we add a little bit more blue. Ooh. Just a little bit more. Ooh, a lot of it more. Actually, I think I'm gonna need more color. There we go. Okay. A little darker. Ooh. Looks really nice. Okay, and again, doesn't have to be perfect. We can get pretty close, you know. All right, a little bit more blue. Whoop. A little bit more, there we go. This is like one of my favorite colors. It's like a teal, green, blue. Oh, so pretty. Nice. All right, last one. A little bit more blue. So in school, what we used to do is, in college, we used to get, you know, pick our colors, right? We used to have all the primaries and then a few others. And they used to have us mix each color with each other color. And then the gradients, we would go down, add white, and then add black. We had to do that for every color. Actually, I think I want to add a little bit more blue to that. It's not as transitioned as I want it to be. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with straight blue. So this is the ultramarine blue. Ooh. There's still a little bit of green in there. Oops. It's okay. Blend it in. It's kind of a teal. Oopsies, that's okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and do the pastel of the green. Okay, so I'm gonna get some. That's a pretty have to kind of flip this because I've been holding it. There we go, pretty. Clean up that edge. Oh, we're okay. You're okay. I have this really pretty rug in here, so I'm like a little nervous about it, but it looks like it's all getting on the drop cloth, so we're okay. Very pretty. Okay. Now we're gonna go in with the blue. Should we do the blue pastel first? Just wiping off my brush here. Yeah, maybe we should do the blue pastel. Okay, we'll do that. So I'm gonna let's mix it. I'm gonna mix it down here. A little bit of white. Really pretty, like sky blue color. Hold it like this. Paint it right there. And I will list all the supplies and stuff down in the description box if you need help finding stuff. I shop a lot at Michael's, but Hobby Lobby, Joanne, R.I.P. Joanne Fabrics, because they used to have paint stuff too. Not no mo. Okay, so now we're the last one. We're gonna transition from blue to red. What does that make? That makes violet, or purple, as my nephew used to call it. So we're gonna transition from blue to red, since we're going that way anyways. So we're gonna add more. So 2 strong colors, right? But usually out of blue and red, blue is the stronger color than red. So you usually have to add more red for it to show up in a blue, just FYI. But we are going from blue to red, so we want to use more blue than red in this mixture to start out. And it's going to be really dark. It's a pretty color. Okay. Running out of hold space. Okay, so do half of this. Look at that purple. Wow. That's gorgeous. It's like a nice eggplant. And see, it's covering up that outline really well. So it's blue is a really strong color. Depending on the paint formula and stuff, you might have to like play around with different formulas and stuff to really get what you want, but all right, so now we're just gonna add more red. Okay. This is almost like a brown. Looks really pretty. Ooh. Okay, 2 more to go. Okay, a little bit more red. Okay, that looks nice. Nice transition there. Very slight, but you can tell. Okay, last one. It's almost pure red. Still a little blue in there. It's almost the same color. Hold on. Let me add a little bit more red. Mixing it up here, I'm changing because I didn't want a ton of that blue in there. Okay, that's a little better. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna do the pastel of purple. I'm gonna add a little bit more blue back in. And the white's right here. So yeah, depending on how much red is in the paint, you see how red that is? Add a little bit more blue. Get a little bit more purple. There we go. Looks pretty good. Okay. And I think, so one thing about acrylic, it dries really fast. That's already dry. It's a little tacky, but it's dry. So I'm gonna hold it from here. Actually, I should add more white. It's not as pastel as I want it to be. Did you guys notice my makeup? I tried to do Rainbow Bright for you since we were doing a color wheel. Very fancy. And I even did a tutorial for it, so if you want to learn how to do this, I will be posting it. All right. Okay. It's a little better. It's like a black cherry ice cream, which is my favorite ice cream. Or blackberry ice cream. I used to have that growing up. I just visited home, which New York, upstate New York is home for me, and they had it there during the summer. So good. And it's soft serve, so it's nice and smooth. Okay. It looks really good. Okay, so this middle part is, like I said, it was a little surprise. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna see what happens when we mix all three primary colors together. What do you think is gonna happen? Do you think it's gonna turn black? Do you think it's gonna turn, I don't know. What do you think? Let's test it out. Okay, so this orange part is already dry, so I'm gonna actually use, well, before that, I need more blue. So let me get some blue. Ultramarine blue to be exact. Okay. What do you think is gonna happen? Anyone taking any bits? Okay, so I'm gonna mix it right here actually. So I'm gonna take blue, and remember we need a lot of yellow because yellow is a weak color, and then equal amount to blue, mix it together. It's turning brown. All right, so if you need, so this brown is a little greenish, so that means that it has more blue and yellow in it than red. So if you want it to be a little warmer of a red, or warmer of a brown, you just add a little bit of red and it turns it into like a burnt sienna color. Very cool, huh? So if you don't have a brown in your palette, now you know how to make one. So we're actually gonna put this right in the middle. And that's to remind you that it's the colors mixed together. Looks so nice. This kind of cleans up the middle too for me. Ooh, looks like a sunflower. Colorful flower. Very pretty, guys. Wow, so this is our finished color wheel. So we're gonna do more of these. I mean, not more color wheels, but we're gonna do more videos. And I'm gonna show you how to use this. And when we're painting a piece, you know, whatever that is, a landscape, portrait, whatever, we can always refer to this, our color wheel, and you know, it'll help us determine what color to use, where the tones are. We'll learn about tones, we'll learn about all that good stuff in our upcoming videos. All right, well, I'm just gonna, should I just hold it like this? Hold it like this. All right, guys, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Very basic, very simple, just go step by step. Don't panic if something happens. You know, just, if you want to ask me questions, please do. Please comment down below, like this video, subscribe to my channel. Please send me a message if you have any questions on what to do if something happens or something goes wrong or what color to use. I am so ready for all those questions, so please let me know what you guys are doing. And yeah, if you try to do this, please tag me in it. Please show me a picture. I would love to see it. I would love to see how you guys are learning and growing as young artists yourselves. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really liked this first episode in this series, and I hope that I see you in the next episodes. Be kind to yourself, be kind to one another, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.